So it's cubic factoring. You're doing sums and differences. Okay, so you have x cubed plus 125. So, whoopsie. So this is my a cubed and this is my b cubed. So down here you say if you have a cubed, then the inverse operation is the cube root. So the cube root of a cubed is just a, right? Because there's 3a. Okay, so this x cubed, if I was to cube root this, it would be x, right? X, that's what 3 of them means. So this is just x. So a is x and b is, what's the cube root of 125? 5, right? So the cube root of 125, where's my calculator? I got one. Okay, never mind, I got a calculator. So you can even grab your calculator. Shift cube root 125, whoops, sorry, gives me, here, let me do it again. Shift cube root 125 is 5, because 125 is 5 times 5 times 5. So the cube root of it is, there are 3 of them, are all 5, so the root is 5. Okay, so my a is x, my b is 5. So far, so good? Okay, you gotta know that part. Okay, so now what happens? I have a plus sign in the middle. I have a positive between the a cubed and the b cubed. So I'm looking at this top form. Okay, so if it's a cubed plus b cubed, the linear binomial is going to be a plus b because it's going to have the same sign. That's what SOAP is. S is the same sign, O is the opposite sign. The third is always positive. That's the AP. Okay, so if I have a positive, I know my linear binomial is x plus 5. Yeah? Because it's a plus b. Bless you. Okay, now for my quadratic roots. What is a squared? Well, if a is x, what is x squared? X squared. Yeah? The next sign, you go opposite the sign. So because this was positive, my second term has to switch, so it is negative. So it's same, opposite, and then the third sign will be always positive. That's the SOAP. Okay, that term is going to be a times b. Well, a is x, b is 5, so what's 5 times x? Just 5x. Sorry, that wasn't written pretty. And then the third, for your trinomial, plus, because it's always positive, b squared. Well, my b is 5, so what's 5 squared? 25. And that is your cubic factoring. So this is it. Okay, let's try the next one. What's the cube root of a cubed? A. Okay, so this is A. What's the cube root of 64? Shift cube root 64, 4. So B is 4. And so this is 4. So this is my A, that's my B, right? Okay, my sign is positive. So same sign, so A plus 4. And if you don't want to make a mistake, you can even go, like, I'm going to do one thing at a time. I know the first one's positive, the second one's going to be opposite, so that's a negative, and I know the third sign is always positive. And you can even fill it out beforehand, and then afterwards worry about the terms. Okay, the first is A squared. So it's kind of Pascal's triangle. You go A squared, A, no A. You go no B, B1, B2. It's pascals. So what is a squared? A squared. This is a times b. So what's a times 4? 4a. And then what's b squared? 16. I make it too squishy here. And so that is your factorization. We'll go to 5 next. It's not bad, right? You can just mess up the signs. That's really it. So it's just the signs. Okay, so let's go to 5 just because it's a different number. All right, I got x cubed. So what's the cube root of x cubed? X. You have 27. What is the cube root of 27? Yeah. Shift cube root 27, 3. Okay, so you can get to your calculator on this part. Okay, my sign is negative. So if you have a negative in your cubic, the linear will be negative because that's the same sign, but then after you'll go positive, positive, positive. Because remember that middle, that second term, is always the opposite of whatever that sign is. So you're only going to have one negative on the linear, but on the quadratic root, they're all positive. Okay. All right, so where am I on 5? All right, so if I write it kind of big so I don't mess up, this is same sign, positive, this is opposite sign, so since it's negative, it's positive, and then this one is always positive, the third. And so that's how my signs are going to go. And then you just fill them in. So A, which is x, B, which is 3, right? This is a squared, but that's x squared. This is a times b, so 3x. And this is b squared, 3 squared, 9. That's it. We're obviously going to factor also with this starting tomorrow, but tomorrow you guys are going to go back to dividing in the 4th grade. You guys are going to get a 4th grade worksheet. And so we'll kind of work our way up because you guys are going to start doing synthetic division of factoring, which is for you to factor. So it's like a 50-50. These are really important, and then of course the other factorization is important. It's not as bad as it seems. Okay. Yeah? All right. Let me stop the video. I forgot I was recording, which means this